team that I can speak from my heart to go to. Because when you speak last, you speak when people are already tired. And most of the time, you are repetitive because most of the issues that you address have been addressed. It is exciting to share moments with you today. It is also an opportunity to engage you on the Kenya Kwanza vision for the diaspora nation for synchronized approach to developing our motherland. The diaspora nation is critical to the Ruto administration. And that is exactly why the President established the State Department for Diaspora Affairs to closely work with you in addressing your specific issues and unlock your investment potential. We are hence very keen on enhancing and protecting the interests of Kenya and our people living outside because it is one of the ways of promoting development back home. To achieve this, we are determined to involve you in voting and other national decision-making discourses. The Ruto administration is also working to facilitate and sustain seamless consular services such as application and renewal of passports, IDs, and other government documents with the e-government approach as a priority. Furthermore, good people, we are constantly engaging host states on diverse bilateral agreements in labor and employment, trade agreements, comprehensive economic partnership agreements, education and technology transfer, savings, foreign direct investment, among others. That is why President William Ruto, during his visit to the Kingdom of Belgium in March, signed a memorandum of understanding on political consultations. With this development, we now have a framework of executing our cases for a win-win socio-economic situation for our people. As our frontline economic warriors, such a meeting today will raise issues of concern, which will table before the inaugural political consultations in Nairobi on 24th November 2023 for strategic interventions by the two nations. We are also seeking to strengthen the remittance portfolio for a strong economy. It is important at this point that geopolitical issues have negatively affected international trade, and our shilling has been sliding against international currency. So far, we are happy with the money you sent back home. Last year, we received $4.3 billion. So that is, in fact, the remittance has overtaken tourism, tea, coffee, and horticultural exports. Our aim, and that is why I'm here tonight, is to double our amount. We are aware of your concerns with double taxation, and we are working on the best and sustainable strategies of lowering the cost of sending back money home. We are also working on streamlining the investment environment back home to protect you from exploitation, especially from your own relatives and friends. It's very sad that we need to protect you from relatives. The affordable housing program is hence a key area to encourage you to pay close attention to, so that you don't have to send your brother money to build a house for you. Then he'll take photographs of the neighbor's house and say it is yours, only for you to come back home to retire and find you have started from square one. Indeed, the agreement on avoidance of double taxation is a priority in our engagement with our Belgium counterpart, and is ongoing. And shortly, we'll have something positive to report in in this regard. The fourth round of negotiations was held on September 18 to 22nd of 2023 in Nairobi and was facilitated by the National Treasury, and we are making good progress. In conclusion, I'm pleased to note that the nation has been actively working with the various diaspora organizations, like the Association of Diaspora in Belgium and Luxembourg, through participation in their various activities. I just wanted to add very briefly that President William Ruto set up the State Department of Diaspora Affairs because of the importance of the diaspora space in our economy and our country at large. As I have said, the remittances from the diaspora is number one foreign exchange earner for our country. You have surpassed tourism, tea, coffee, horticulture, and all. You are therefore a critical component of our development and our desire and plan to turn around the Kenyan economy squarely places a spot on you, because you are the largest contributor of our foreign exchange earnings. At a time like now, when the shilling has taken a beating against the hard currencies, we need your hand for the economic revival of our country. You are aware that when we took over on 30th of September last year, we inherited a 9.6 trillion public debt. And the situation remains very worrisome, in that the Eurobond that we took of $2 billion is due next year. And the interest rate has shot to between 14 and 16, almost 17%. We therefore need various interventions. One of the most critical interventions is to increase the earnings from the diaspora. We are saying it's a duty, because Kenya is your motherland. Much as you live here, much as you want to stay here, east or west, home is, you have a patriotic duty to do much more than you have done to increase your remittances. And that will strengthen the nation. But we have a responsibility as a government to also make it easier for you. We cannot just ask you to do it and we don't address the issues. And that is why the President, in his wisdom, in the Executive Order number 1 of 2023, established this department to specifically deal with your issues. That is why when the President and I travels anywhere in the world, we always must have a date with our people living in that particular country, so that we also hear them out and we also appraise them on what is going on back home. And that is why I have this engagement with you tonight. And I will be willing to take questions, because our administration is one of continuous engagement. You are our partners. We are not rulers over you. We are just in servant leadership. And we have a responsibility to listen to you, because the President has said it many times that nobody has monopoly of ideas. A good idea must give way to a better idea, and a better idea ultimately should give way to the best idea. The only way we can improve our governance and our leadership as a country is listening to the people of Kenya. and listening to our people in the diaspora. You know much more than we do because you have had different experiences. You live in a country that is developed. There are things that people here do much differently than us that you can tell us on how we can improve on our governance, how we can strengthen our economy. I want to thank Ambassador Demo for the good job he's doing in this country, both as ambassador to Belgium and to the EU. And we are here to represent the President for a very important forum. And through his effort and his staff, they have negotiated some good packages that I'll be signing tomorrow for the benefit of our country economically. And I want to say that 3 weeks ago, the President made changes in diplomatic appointments across the world. And he retained Demo to remain here to continue the good work that he's been doing. The new ambassadors, plus the ones that have been trained, will be called back home so that we can appraise them on the bottom-up economic transformation agenda and appraise them again on the new approach to diplomacy. The new administration will move away from the traditional diplomacy to commercial and economic diplomacy. We want our ambassadors and high commissioners across the world to spend 70% of their time on commercial and economic matters, looking for new markets and expanding existing markets. That is why we have an education attaché here to address the issues that are being raised by the student representative here. I alone, when the ambassador was briefing me, issues came up of scholarships that were offered in this country but were not taken up because of unnecessary bureaucratic red tape back in Nairobi. This is unforgivable, it's unacceptable. 500 scholarships offered by universities in Belgium to the people of Kenya. And somewhere between Foreign Affairs and Ministry of Education, they just slip away. People do not do their job, and those scholarships are not taken up. I want to give you an assurance that the new administration is a serious administration that is people-centered and that takes a very serious view of opportunities for the people of Kenya. That could not have happened in an administration where William Ruto and I are the lead. And I want to assure you, and I've told the ambassador and his people, to work, put more energy to get more scholarships. And we'll streamline those places, and all those scholarships will be taken for the benefit of the people of Kenya. In fact, what we have done, the President, in the Executive Order number 1 of 2023, assigned me the function of coordinating development partners' activities to make sure that such things do not happen, so that people have an office where they can raise an issue if things are not going the proper way. So I want to say that we appreciate you and what you are doing here. And I want to appeal you to continue staying here. I don't want to invite you back home, not now. I'm a truthful man. We don't have the opportunities for you to come back home. Please stay here. But send back money back home. Invest back at home and create employment for 5-10 people. Then come back home and supervise them. Yeah? As it is, the State Department of Diaspora Affairs and our Ministry of Labor and Social Protection are having a very proactive strategy of getting jobs for our people across the world. We have many countries where the aging population has created a job deficit. But we have not taken up those opportunities. We are now having a very aggressive program. Like in Germany, they have about 200,000 jobs. And that's what we are working on. And we want to expand that space because the people of Kenya have good work ethics and they are respected across the world. And the way the student leader here said, and I was very impressed, is that they are not only students, but they are the ambassadors of our great country. And I really want to thank all of you because we have not heard of any cases from this country where Kenyans have misbehaved and portrayed us negatively. Please continue being our good ambassadors. And again, don't just be good ambassadors. Create more space for other Kenyans. If you get an opportunity for another Kenyan here and there, please ask them to come. Let us feel the whole of this world because our place is a bit tight. Wherever we can get opportunities, please don't be selfish. If you find there is an opportunity another Kenyan can do, can come, please facilitate. But I also want to ask you to register with the embassy. These people here, hata kama wewe ulipitia mlango ile haitakikani, hao watu hawezi sema wewe nimeongea na Kiswahili. Sitaki wazungu wajue mambo yetu. Unajua, kukitokea shida kama sasa tuko na shida pande ya Israel, tulikuwa na shida pande ya Sudan. Kama wewe hujulikani huko, kutokea tabu, unfortunately, in an unfortunate event, there is a challenge. How do you get help? Please. And we have talked to these ambassadors quietly. Usajili watu wetu na hiyo maneno ni yetu na sita. Ufungue vitabu mbili hapo kwa embassy. Sindio? Kwa sababu sasa, please register. Let us know the number of Kenyans. And that is the issue also, that is voting. Why we are unable to register voters, the numbers are very few, the ones that come out. Watu ni wengi kutana kila mtu wamejaa kwa street. Lakini ukiandikisha ni wachache. Na wale hawajiandikishi hawataki kupiga kura kwa embassy. So it becomes very expensive to start a voting station in the embassy when you are just dealing with a few people. So we need to agree that you need to register with the embassy so that you are known and the embassy can take care of you and you can also assist each other. I'm very happy with the organization here led by President Ruth Lakini. Your committee is not gender sensitive. If my boss, President William Ruto, was here, he would have refused to speak. He is very sensitive. The boy child is in trouble. I think even my pastor Lucas was not impressed. The boy child is in trouble in this organization. Yeah? What is like Nakuru County? All the leaders are women. So, I don't know what is happening in Belgium. Wanaume wameenda wapi? Hawapati nafasi ya kuongoza. So I want to encourage a strong organization like the one led by President Ruth. You know, they say in my community where I come from, buffaloes don't move together because they like each other. No, it's a danger of moving alone. If you have monitored the wild beast migration in the Mara, the wild beasts, they move in a herd, many of them. And when the lions try to attack them, they are warded off. But when one of the wild beasts gets hurt, and it remains behind because it cannot walk faster, it is grabbed by the lion and eaten. It's the danger of walking alone. When you are in a foreign country, don't stay alone. Join the organization. Be many of you so that you can hold each other's hand. And togetherness is good, especially when you are away from home. So I want to encourage you to be in an organization where you can meet for celebrations, catch up, discuss issues back at home, and also help each other. Again, you have said you want to invest. Some people thought that people who are investors are only the ones whose color is a bit different from mine. All of us can be investors, and we want to encourage you to invest. From the lessons you are learning here, this is a developed country. Export those skills back home in investment. I am very happy to meet you. I am very proud, I'm very happy that Kenya is well represented here as our motherland. And I want to encourage you to continue loving each other, staying closer to each other, being patriotic to your country, and always remembering that at the end of it all, one day you'll come back home, and what happens home is important. Finally, I just wanted to give you a brief analysis of what is going on back at home. We are doing well in a difficult situation of the economic challenges that have been accelerated by the problem in the war in Ukraine, the climate change, and general economic challenges across the globe. But last week, we passed laws on interventions in matters of health, and we launched during Mashujaa Day in Kericho a new approach to managing health. Our people have suffered because of hospital bills and doing harambees every weekend to get their loved ones out of hospital. We have now come up with a program where even terminal diseases will be covered by NHIF. We have also aligned the NHIF contribution so that those who earn more pay a little bit more, those who earn less pay less, and those who earn nothing are assisted free, so that everybody is covered. So that program is ongoing, and again, the government has focused on primary health care. The focus now is on preventive medicine as opposed to curative medicine. The cost of treating a disease is 9 times the cost of preventing it. So we are more now on preventive health. And what we have done is that we have registered 100,000 community health volunteers and give them kits. And every volunteer is in charge of 100 households. And they can go there and check on blood pressure, on blood sugar, because a lot of our people get very sick because they did not know they have challenges, especially on lifestyle diseases. And with that intervention, in 5 years, we are going to cut the cost of healthcare by 50%. So that program is ongoing. Again, our country is respected by how it takes care of its elderly people. We have a cash transfer program for people for 70 years and above. And we have been taking care of about 1 million people. We have now done a second registration. It will come to about 1.8 million elderly people who will be receiving some money every month from the government to assist them, to keep them going. Again, we have a very serious program on affordable housing, and I want to invite you, my good people from the diaspora, to take keen interest in this program. There is a website, the State Department of Housing. Please come and buy houses. And these houses are not right in the rural areas, they are in the towns. Because what has been happening, a county like Kisii, where our good ambassador comes from, there is no land. When you build a house of mabati, the water from the roof sheets drops in your neighbor's house, and there is conflict. So we are saying, since we want this land to be used for agricultural activities, you aggregate affordable housing in the trading centers, in the big towns. So please invest in those ones. And they are good for you because you rent them when you are not there. And when you can't come home, you can stay there, or when you finally retire, and they are not expensive. Because the government takes care of the land and infrastructure. And hence, it's only the cost of building that is passed to you. And again, that intervention is very important because each house employs between 8 to 10 people. It is creating a lot of employment for young people. So that is something we would like to invite you to come and do. We are now in talks with the central bank to make it easier for you to send money home without being charged exorbitantly by the banks, because it's counterproductive. And that is ongoing. And very shortly, an announcement will be made. You'll be able to remit back money home without having to spend exorbitantly. So there are many things that are going on in the country. We have just finished the Presidential Working Party on Educational Reforms to align the CBC so that it is easy and resonating well with the people of Kenya. Again, we have also worked on the financing of education for the universities, and that is again is working on well. So I want to assure you that in spite of the economic challenges that are there in the country, there are many programs that the government has initiated that are going on well with the people of Kenya. And the economy is slowly showing signs of recovery. And one of the ways to prove to you that the economy is recovering is that previously the government would be in arrears of about 20-30% of money owed to the counties. But by the closure of financial year 2022-2023, June 30th, the government had disbursed to the last cent all the monies owed to the county government. Again, all the money owed to the constituencies. And that is a sign that things are getting to improve. We have a challenge, of course, with fuel, but it's a global challenge. It's not just in Kenya. And the cost of fuel in Nairobi is the same cost in Uganda, in Tanzania, in Sudan, because it's a global challenge. And this is something that is being tackled across the globe. And ultimately, things will get much better in terms of